Sagarmatha. It's what the Nepalese call Mount Everest, and it means universe of the gods. Now, you're probably wondering, how the hell did Greg end up at Everest Base Camp? 2012 was a tough year, and it was during FY13 planning, I realised I needed a break. I needed to refresh, I needed to revitalise. But you can't go and climb to Mount Everest Base Camp without a plan. And I encourage you to adopt and use the Quadrant 2 tool. It helps you identify your strategic initiatives. But the biggest benefit I got out of using the tool was it really helped me identify the day-to-day activities that I was doing that wasn't linked to my strategic initiatives. And I'll repeat that point because it's a real key takeaway. It helped me identify the day-to-day activities I was doing that wasn't linked to my strategic initiatives. So it helped me to be more successful and effective in my role. Now, as I take you on the journey to base camp today, I want you to have a think about one thing. What is the one goal that's going to define success for you in 2013? Now, what does the journey to Everest Base Camp look like? You're tracking for 124 kilometres, up to an altitude of 5,600 metres over a space of 13 days. And they say half the battle in getting to Everest Base Camp is just landing successfully at Lukla. Lukla is the world's most dangerous airport. On average, once every 3 months, there's an accident or fatality at this airport. At one end, you've got an 800-foot drop down into a valley. At the other end, you've got a mountain. So there's no margin for error in landing an aircraft on this runway. And it wasn't long before we came across our first suspension bridge. And as you can see in the photo, a rock slides occur which has taken out part of the bridge. It reminded us just what a challenging adventure we're in for. But no matter what challenging adventure you set your mind to, you've got to have a great team. Each and every one of us had one goal. We wanted to get to Everest Base Camp. Could we do it ourselves, on our own? Certainly not. Could we do it as a team? Possibly. But there was no one more important in our team than our porters. These guys are superhuman strong. They'd carry anything from 50 to 100 kilograms on their back each day for 124 kilometres. This day was a tough day. We're starting to get up to 4,000 metres above sea level. The oxygen's thinning, the muscles are getting tired, fatigue is setting in. We were climbing over logs, climbing over rocks. This was a really tough day. But this day was a little tougher. So what did we eat on the 13 days we trekked to base camp? We had a lot of vegetables, a lot of carb-rich foods. It was really important to rehydrate and refuel. But despite the constant refueling, I still lost 7 kilograms in 13 days. So my advice to you, if you want to lose a couple of kilos, trek to Everest Base Camp. Who here has heard of AMS? It stands for Acute Mountain Sickness. Some of the symptoms can be vomiting, fatigue, headaches, temporary blindness. You can actually get fluid on the lungs, as well as swelling of the brain, and it can potentially be fatal. So it's really important you're monitoring your symptoms, as well as the rest of your team. So what was it like sleeping at night on our way to Everest Base Camp? It was bloody freezing. It was so cold that when we'd fill our water bottles with hot water, boiling water at night, if we didn't put them in our sleeping bags, they'd actually be frozen the next morning. And as we climbed higher and higher, we got the craziest dreams and these really bad headaches. And what do you do when it's 3 a.m., pitch black darkness, sub-freezing temperatures, you're in your sleeping bag, you've got your 4 layers of thermals on, your big downer jacket, your scarf, etc., and you want to go to the toilet? What do? Well, you hold it to the morning. And what amazing mornings they were. This is a typical scene from my bed when I wake up each day, and it reminds us just why we were trekking to Everest Base Camp. So, we're on the trek. We're climbing up to 5,000 metres above sea level. Who can tell me what's not in this photo? There's no trees, no grass, no bushes. Nothing lives here. This place is dead. It was like walking around on Mars. And it was at this point we realised just how high we were. And you can see there, they're clouds. We're walking through clouds. It was absolutely amazing. But what was more amazing was when we came across our first avalanche. In fact, one of 3 on the day that we reached base camp. But when we got here to this point, we'd forgotten about the fatigue, the sore muscles, the vomiting, the temporary blindness. We knew we were only a couple of 100 metres to base camp. The excitement grew, the energy lifted. And we made it! Everest Base Camp! Woo! Now, what made this day even more amazing was as my partner, Sarah, it was her birthday. And there's not too many people that can lay claim to having their birthday at Everest Base Camp. But Sarah's party was quickly overshadowed when AJ in the group decided to propose to his girlfriend. And luckily for him, she said yes. Okay, so now what? Well, we've got to track back down 62 kilometres to the world's most dangerous airport. Excellent. Each and every one of us up there wanted to get to Everest Base Camp. We all had a common goal, but we couldn't get there on our own. We had to do it as a team. And did we get there? Yes, we did. And as I started the journey to Everest Base Camp today, I asked you to think about one thing. What is that one thing that's going to define success for you in 2013? Could be closing that $10 million license deal. Could be helping your kids get better grades. Whatever it is, I want you to identify that one thing that defines success for you in 2013. And once you've got that one thing, you've got to have a plan. I encourage you, adopt the quadrant 2. It helps you laser focus in on your strategic initiatives. But the biggest benefit I got was it helped me identify the day-to-day activities I was doing that weren't linked to my strategic initiatives. So no matter what goal you choose, and I encourage you, challenge yourself, set the bar high. Whatever goal you choose, there are going to be obstacles. People are going to tell you, you can't do that. Oh, you're not good enough to do this. Oh, the timing's not right. I'm cutting my budget. I'm cutting headcount. Whatever it is, when you hit these obstacles, when you hit these mountains, I guarantee you, you will find opportunity. So in closing, I'm going to leave you with one question. What is the one goal that's going to define success for you in 2013?